Hello everyone, I am Muskan Sharma. Hope you all are doing well. I welcome you all to our channel Online Learning. Today I will tell you the interview experience of TCS Ninja Digital and Prime. But before starting the video, I just want to tell you that we have already uploaded so many videos of the interview experience of these roles. So kindly watch the videos and tell us in the comment section if you have any doubt or queries regarding that. So let me start the video. Let me start the video with the TCS digital experience of date 20 June 2024, place is Kolkata and branches CS. The interview comprised of two rounds. First round is of duration 45 minutes. It is a round of TR and MR. And second round is of HR. The second round is of 10 minutes. And as I said, the first round is of 45 minutes. So I'm starting the video with the TR and MR round questions. First question is to introduce yourself. This is the most important and basic question asked in almost every interview round. So in this question, you have to first mention in a brief that what are your academics according with your professional skills, your project, internship, and any framework or any particular technologies you have done so far. Second question will be related to this introduction part. Second question like this is in-depth question of a project. In this case, has interviewer or interview might mention in the introduction about his or her project. So second question is based on that project only, that the interviewer might have asked the questions related to the technologies used in the project, along with what challenges the candidate may have faced in that. Likewise, interview have had asked the questions. Fourth question is why you choose to work with these technologies. Interviewer is asking in this question that why you work with these particular technologies, not any other technology. Let's say if user have said, if a candidate has said that he has chosen Java, and in that he had used Spring Boot or Hibernate technologies. So in this question, you interviewer want to ask that why you have chosen these frameworks only, these technologies only, not any other. So in these type of question, you must be already prepared that what you have to answer with these frameworks, why you have chosen, their advantages and their specific work. Fifth question is why choose MySQL database, why not MongoDB? So you have to mention, you have to tell that why you have used this particular database and why not Mongo database. You have to tell its advantages in this project, that why you had chosen only this particular database. Next question is what are the security measures you took? Let's say you candidate might mention that the project related to any security purpose. So interviewer is asking that what are the security question you have taken. Seventh question is if some attacker perform any SQL injection in your database, how you will prevent this? As I'm taking the example of Java language particularly, and in this case, if we write the query using a statement, means we execute the query after a request parameter, that we if we use the statement. So in order to prevent the SQL injection, we should use the prepared statement in place of a statement. And in this particular question, you first have to tell that how the SQL injection happened and how to reduce or prevent this SQL injection. You can tell that restricting database procedure, sanitizing database input, or enforcing least privilege access, we can reduce the SQL injection in our database. And secondly, utilizing parameterized database query with bound, typed parameter, and careful use of parameterized stored procedure in the database, we can reduce the SQL injection in our DB. Eighth question is what are the modules you use in the Node.js? So in Node.js particularly, whatever the modules the candidate have used, uh, you have to tell those questions that if particular Node.js you have used. Next question is why you choose HTML, why not React? Interviewer is asking this question because interviewer wants to know that why you haven't chosen the language which is in advanced version. Why choosing this HTML? Because every front end developer almost is using this React or Angular framework. So interviewer might have chosen only the HTML and might have worked on this HTML only. So interviewer is asking why not React. So you must prepare for the questions for the technologies you have used so far. Next question is of code of string. 11th question is complex query regarding joins. Uh, joins, maybe the interviewer have asked the questions related to the outer join, inner join, nested join. Candidate have not mentioned the query, but he has mentioned the complex query that related to the joins. Next is puzzle questions. Interviewer have uh, yeah, interviewer might have asked the puzzle questions related to the these joins, or I can say any questions related to any puzzle question related to the technical stuff. Third question is difference between RDBMS and DBMS. In this question, you should you should first tell what is RDBMS and DBMS, what is database management system and what is relational database management system, how we can make the relation between different database management system, and how it is differ from the uh, traditional database management system. Okay, 14th question is pattern problem. Pattern problem include the pattern of triangle, diamond shaped, or any particular pattern interviewer can give you to solve, or you can give the logic of that pattern problem. Interviewer can also ask you to share your screen and perform the logic for that pattern. Also, he can ask only the logic of that. 15 question, why you had not hosted the project. In this question, interviewer want to ask the candidate that why you are not hosted the project, means why you have not lead the project. So in these types of question, you have to answer in very I can say that in very appropriate manner, because interviewer want to ask the strength or weakness type of thing in this, in these type of questions. You should tell in these type of question like why you have not hosted the project, because you are handling the technical stuff, you have handled the main coding part, that's why you are not handle the leading part of the project. You can tell for the leading part we have taken any non-tech person, or not exactly the non-tech person, the person who can at manage who can manage the project or can do the stuff which is mostly of non-technical, and you can tell that you have handled only the technical stuff and that mostly the coding part. 16 question is candidate key could be null, and 17 question is difference between foreign key and candidate key. In this question, this is the question related to the candidate key. First of all, you should know what is the difference between primary key and candidate key, then only you would be able to answer that candidate's key, why it couldn't be null, why it could be null. So first of all, you have to tell like this, that foreign key is a set of attribute that references a candidate key. For example, a table called employee may have an attribute employee name, which is a foreign key referencing a candidate key person name in the another table called as person table. Likewise, you can answer the difference between foreign key and candidate key. Next question is what is multer, why you should use this. Multer is a node.js middleware used for handling multi-part or form data, which is primarily used for uploading files. It is written on the top of busboy for maximum efficiency. Next question is why you use node mailer, why not other email sending module. So you have to prepare the questions regarding that. Next is the HR round questions. The first question is why do you want to join TCS? In this particular question, you have to tell that why specifically you want to join the TCS, why not another company. In this question, you have to tell the advantages of why working in TCS. Second is revenue of the TCS, CEO of the TCS, relocation or bond. Relocation or bond, interviewer is asked, generally ask this question in order to get your point that whether you want to relocate for any location or not. So in relocation point, you have to answer yes, yes, you can relocate to any other location. Why you have to tell, why you have to answer in the yes? Because it will impact your interview in the positive manner, and the interviewer is can ask that if you are ready to sign the bond or not. So in this case you have to answer yes. In this case also, user interviewer want to get your inner state, that whether you are in the positive way to join the TCS or not. Second is the TCS digital experience of location Kolkata. It is also of date 20 June 2024. In this case, the duration is of 35 round. It also start with the introduction part, then the in-depth project internship related questions. I already told you that we, as we mentioned in the resume, the project or the internship. Along with that, in the introduction part, we also tell the project and internship. So interviewer can ask the questions related to those project and internship. After that, the three coding question interview ask. Coding question can be any related to the joins, any pattern program, or any basic program like uh, question, and prime number, or any particular composite number, we can say Fibonacci series. Likewise, coding question, you interviewer can ask by share. He can ask you to share your screen, or only can ask the logic of those question. Next is three MySQL question. Interviewer might have asked like any query, to write any query for like he may tell you to perform any SQL command for any particular database, fetching or delete or truncate any question interviewer can give you. Next is method overloading and overriding. It is a basic concept of OOPS. Why to do the method overloading, how to do the method overloading and overriding, and what is the difference between overriding and overloading. What OOPS concept has been using in overloading and overriding. As we all know that overloading is a concept of polymorphism, and overriding is showing the parent child relationship. Next is global and static value. Why we declare the global variable or the static variable, operators used in that. Git syntax HR question. Git syntax is user means the candidate might have mentioned in the resume that he have the knowledge of Git. So interviewer has been asked the question related to Git. Next is the interview experience of digital of 18 June. Location is Nagpur, Maharashtra. So the candidate is has been mentioned that he has been selected for digital and fully prepared for these things, including the subjects coding, NQT questions, HRMR advanced coding questions. In technical, he stated that the interviewer don't even ask a single technical question from these things. They ask only about projects and mention two projects. They tell to explain only one. So likewise, interviewer can ask only the project also, or I can say the only the internship stuff also, not even a single question apart from that. It depends totally upon the interview. In the MR round, condition based questions have been asked from this candidate. Next is, why do you want to join TCS? As I already told you that you have to tell the advantages of why you want to choose particularly the TCS company. Then interview ask, do you have any questions or not? Almost ask five times. So try to ask the question what is in your mind. So as I already mentioned in my previous videos, that you have to particularly ask the question from the interview, which shows that you are really interested in this interview, and shows that how much you are interested to join the offer. Do you have any other offer? It depends upon the interview. You can answer the question. You can answer the this question in yes or no. Next is HR. On documents verification was strict. Any mismatch on documents directly cancel the application. So you have to verify, or you can present or show the documents which are very relevant or which are very correct to your authenticity. If TR and MR, if selected, then only HR. TR and MR, if only TR and MR round is clear, then only the HR will happen. HR round will happen. Next is the TCS Prime Interview Experience, which is of duration 20 minutes. TR and MR round is of 20 minutes and HR round is of 5 minutes. It is of location Jaipur. These all interview experience that I have shared till now are of CSE branch. Okay. First question is to introduce yourself, that you should first have to tell about your introductory part, that then what is Node.js, what is Postman. In these types of question you have to answer the question in 2 to 3 lines. If interviewer want to proceed with that question only, he will ask with the questions regarding that. Otherwise you can mention in the brief these questions, like what in this question, that what is Postman, you can answer that Postman is a software application which allow developers to test or share the APIs. You can request by giving some parameters, and you can get the response code from the particular API. Next is how to prevent attacks in your website, that it is a question related to the security. Next is REST API. You have to answer that what is REST API, that it is architectural style for an application programming interface that uses HTTP request to access or use data. You can answer that what is the difference between the API and the REST API. You can answer that RESTful API use HTTP requests to interact with the data, while traditional API can use variety of protocols. Next question is testing tools. What are the testing tools you have used so far, or what are the testing tools already have been there? There are two different types of testing tools, static tools and dynamic. Static test tools are like flow analyzer, path test, coverage analyzer, interface analyzer. Likewise, different dynamic test tools are also there. Next question is, have you used HTML5? You have to answer this question. Is it possible to send data without API? Use state. Difference in Angular and React. This is the very basic question, that what is the difference between the Angular and the React. You can answer this question in a manner that React is a JavaScript library, whereas Angular is a front-end framework. React only uses one-way data binding and virtual DOM, whereas Angular uses two-way data binding and real DOM. Moreover, React is faster than Angular as it has a smaller bundle size. Likewise, you can answer mock and stub testing tools, coding question and SQL queries question. Interviewer have asked the questions related to the coding part and SQL queries. MR round, what is study means to you? MR round question includes what is study means to you. Means this is basically familiar questions, like I can say the personal questions related to their family background, about internship role and learning. Next is the HR round, why should we hire you? You have to tell that what particular thing you have, what talent or what skill you have, that you should be hired. Why TCS, about TCS relocate to Chennai, is it okay? In this case I would suggest to answer the yes in this question, because it shows the interest of your in order to join the TCS company. Next is of location branch, location Pune, and is of TCS interview for Prime. The branch is electronics and telecommunication. First they conducted technical and managerial round. This have been mentioned by the candidate discussed. Questions asked in TR and MR is, tell me about yourself. Do you know about data warehouse? How much you rate yourself in SQL out of 10? Difference between inner join and outer join. What is the, in these differences type of question? First of all, you have to tell that what is the inner join and what is outer join, and then you have to tell the difference among them. Likewise, the next question is difference between delete and truncate. You can answer the question that delete is a SQL command that removes one or multiple rows, while as truncate is SQL command that removes all the rows from the table without any condition. Next is difference between the primary key and foreign key. Next is how you will fetch first five rows from the table and write the query. In this question, you should have to use the order clause. Next is, do you know about subquery? First of all, as you can interviewer was asking that what is joins and other things. Now the interviewer asking is about, do you know about subquery? In this question you have to tell that subquery is basically the inner query. In this case, in the subquery or the inner query or the subquery will execute first. After that, the main query will execute. Next question is, what is AI, what is artificial intelligence, and what is AI and Gen AI? In this, you have to tell what is AI and Gen AI, and then it's the difference between them. That AI is basically the traditional AI that we have used, while Gen AI is basically the creative content generation. Like, do you know about agile methodology? How it is differ from waterfall technology or waterfall model, that agile methodology, how it works and what are the disadvantages or advantages of it in comparison to the waterfall method. Next question is, suppose you are very sick and you want to go. These types of question are these types of question are like the situation based question, that if you are ill and you are sick and you don't want to miss the deadline, how will you convince the manager? You have to answer this question, that you can do work. In this case, like, you can do the work from your home, you can do the work from home and you can deliver these things from your home as well. So you can answer this question in this manner. Next question is, suppose there are other freshers in team who don't know SQL, but you know SQL, how will you treat them? So this is a very basic question. You can answer that you should answer that you first of all help them understand that what is the SQL and how to use them. Suppose you are given a tester role and not the developer role, how will you react? In this case, you not have to show the anger, or like, if you don't like the tester role, you should not show the aggressiveness. In this case, you have to answer that you can you will positively accept this tester role. After that, you will gain knowledge or will work upon it and try to extend your role to the developer one. Next question is, how was your day and what what you did from the morning? This is the basic question, and basic question in terms of personal behavior. You can answer this question in very precise manner. Next is question asked in HR. Why do you want to see TCS relocation bond internship certification experience questions? Next 5 years strength and weakness. So relocation and bond, as I already mentioned, that you have to answer the yes in both the cases. And internship and certification experience, he can ask based on the internship or the certification you have mentioned in your resume. And next 5 years plan means where you want to see yourself in the next 5 years along with your strength and weakness. Next interview experience I want to share of TCS interview of ninja role. Location is Noida. They ask questions from intro, whatever the introduction points you mentioned, the interviewer can ask the question based on that. Basic oops question, he can ask the fundamental principles or the pillars of the oops, which are uh, polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, or abstraction. Basically focused on SQL question, but didn't ask from me. The candidate have mentioned that interview is basically focused on SQL question. He didn't ask the question from candidate. HTML version on which you made projects, OSI model about projects, logical question. These are the question asked. MR round, why you want to join us? Over 5 years question is strength, weakness. That's it. Any question from us. It took 8 to 10 minutes. Then HR interview, in which documents checking take place. Strength, weakness, problem faced in your interview. Next interview experience is of only the ninja role. Today means it is of today in Chennai. Self intro, project related questions, AI advantages and disadvantages with real life example, any sorting algorithm, pen and paper. Uh, Fibonacci series, relocation willingness, night shift willingness, comfortable with any domain. The interview lasts for 10 to 15 minutes. All were there in MRTR and HR round. And now I want to tell you the interview experience of today only. It is of 22nd June 2024. Location is MIT Pune. TR questions are no introduction asked, directly jump to the DSA. Tell me detailed explanation about linked list. Means the interviewer is not asking the basic question. He is asking the questions based on the DSA. Write code for retrieving the third and the fifth index value from the circular linked list. Project based questions. Mine was also of ML project. Then ask logic of model. If you tell something, then go deep in it. Ask personalized question and real world example. TR question have been asked and TR round will be of 20 to 25 minutes. MR question, what will you do if your teammate take leave on a very hectic day? How will you schedule your day or how will you manage? What will you do if your colleague doesn't like you? And these types of questions, these types of HR type questions, and after that the selected candidate goes to HR checked all the original documents and asked questions like what will you do if you are not selected for the digital. That's all. So these are the interview experience that have been shared by different candidates. If you have any queries, please feel free to drop the queries. We will answer your queries shortly. Thanks and have a nice day. Best of luck for you all.